You know,
I think you're getting
you know.
that.
But I am kind of famous for that. If you give me the chance, I will pretty much always do it in one take.
As long as it's no one else's mistake. You worked with your dad and your brother on Kung Fu, one episode at least, Robert and John.
Yeah, actually Keith was in that episode too.
Oh.
He played me as a teenager.
Is Keith your full brother, by the way?
I don't have any full brothers.
They're all half-brothers. How many?
Well, can I count stepbrothers?
Yes.
There's 9 of us.
How many actors?
5.
How many architects?
1.
Good architect?
Yeah, he's great. He's, right now, he is, let's see, what he is. He's vice president in charge of ecological design for Walt Elias Disney Enterprises, which basically means that he's building Epcot Center and Disney World and the various Disneylands all over the world.
Very nice. You worked a lot around the world, in Philippines, in South Africa. Do you have a particular favorite place in the world?
Home.
And that is where now?
Los Angeles.
Are you really half Chinese, by the way?
No, I'm half Irish. I'm Irish, English, Scots, Welsh, German, Spanish, and Italian.
Wow. The United Nations.
Yeah, but that's in descending order of how much of it I've got in me. You have to go back about 600 years to get to the Italian.
You've been married quite a few times, eh?
3.
And lots of affairs and things like that in the past.
Not really. Affairs. I don't know. I mean, I've had a couple, but by and large, I have long-term relationships with women. A guy once told me the way that I get women is I go to a party and I get a drink and I sit in the corner and some woman will walk up to me and say, "You." And that's my old lady for the next 2 or 3 years.
You have quite a few kids yourself, eh?
3.
You're a good family man? You love being a father?
Yeah, it's not that easy. I mean, it comes and goes, but I like the idea a lot, and I'd like to have some more children.
Is being a father a role in a sense, or can an actor ever get away from trying to find out who he is or who he is going to be today?
Yeah, I don't find that a real problem. I'm pretty much the same guy every day. I don't, or at least I try not to take the guys home with me. Fight days are a problem. I have to be very careful not to walk off a set still fighting. And when I play these heavies, it's very important not to take them home. I mean, you could easily, go home and beat your wife up or something just because that's what you did on the set today. And I kind of make a special thing out of when the camera turns off, I'll tell a joke or do something funny or anything I can do to kind of get rid of that guy. And then I'll grab him back for the next take. And it's not like, Dustin Hoffman, they say that after he did The Rain Man, it took him 6 months to get rid of the autistic thing he developed. And I don't work that way.
Bet it saved him money for pocket calculators, at least. Now, didn't you work on the Woody Guthrie portrayal, Bound for Glory?
Yeah.
You won great critical praise.
Yeah.
How much of yourself and how much time do you have to put into studying that person? He's written a lot of books, Woody Guthrie, and sung a lot of songs.
Hard to say. I tell you, I first became aware of this movie 8 years before it was made. Harold Hecht owned the rights, and I had a meeting with him, and he told me that I wasn't going to get the part. And I went home, I was really sad about it because I thought I really had something special for that character. And a really good friend of mine told me, he said, don't worry about it, David, you're going to play that part. And he said, the guy that plays Woody Guthrie doesn't necessarily have to be friendly with the producer. It's kind of right that he isn't. And then 8 years later, Harold Hecht had lost the rights, and Robert Blumoff had him, and Hal Ashby was going to direct it. And I found out about it through an old girlfriend. And I went in and I spent about 3 months campaigning with Hal Ashby. And they did a screen test of me, sitting on a couch and playing the guitar and talking, which they kept showing to United Artists. United Artists kept saying no. And then finally they said yes. Now during that period of time, naturally, I got deeper and deeper. And we were talking about 8 years plus this 3 months of... Then, once I got the part, I started getting very serious about trying to figure out who Woody Guthrie was. And I got these tapes that he'd made for the archives, the National Archives. There was like 24 hours worth of tapes. And I told Hal Ashby, I said, I want a tape recorder that will play endlessly. Right?
Loop, yeah.
Yeah. And a pair of earphones. And I would put the earphones on, put on one of the tapes, and go to sleep. And I'd wake up in the morning talking like Woody Guthrie. It was just there. Couldn't help it. And I got together with, 3 or 4 different musicians to try to learn how to play the songs the way he played them. Actually, I probably did more real study for that part than I ever have done for any other part.
You had 8 years to do it.
Well, not really. I didn't pay any attention to it for the 8 years. I was being a musician. I was doing my own music. But I tell you, when I got hired to do the part, all I knew about Woody Guthrie was that he wrote Good Night, Irene. And I found out that he didn't.
Oh.
So that's how little I knew about him. Huey Ledbetter, who they call Leadbelly, he wrote Good Night, Irene. But I thought Woody had written it. So that's how little I knew about him. I didn't know anything about him.